So if you have negative 4m is more than 20, they're multiplying by negative 4, so you divide. Anything you do to one side, you do to the other. This cancels each other out. M is more than negative 5. So to graph that, you would write your negative 5, and then here's negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, here's negative 6, negative 7. You would not fill it in because 5 is not included in the solution set, and you know that because it doesn't say or is equal to. So you're going to circle negative 5, and then your line, your arrow is going to go whatever way this arrow's going, that is the way your arrow is going to go. So for yours, you had this, but it's actually this. You had a closed circle on negative 4. Does it make sense now or not yet?
Kind of.
Okay, so you just solve it like normal. Number 2 is 15 times x, which is just the same as 15x is less than or equal to 15. So we're going to say they're multiplying by 15. What do you have to do, Shri?
Divide.
And anything you do to one side, you do to the other. X is less than or equal to 15 divided by 15 is 1. So to graph that, what would I do?
You would do, so is that a closed circle?
Yep.
And then, wait, what?
What would be the number on my number line right here?
15?
No.
1.
Yeah. And then which way would my arrow go? Would it go this way or would it go this way? So whatever way this arrow is pointing, that's the way my arrow points. So this is pointing this way. I would point it that way. The only exception to that are 2 things. We'll just talk about the first thing right now. The first thing is when the x is over here. So suppose it was like that, then you reverse it. And you can reverse it going like this too, right? You can rewrite it, but if the algebraic expression is on the left side of the equation, then you always follow the way the arrow goes. If it's on the right side, then you reverse it. So if it's going this way, you would turn it that way. You're not going to follow it because the expression is over here. We could rewrite it like this, right? X is greater than 1. We can write it like this, and then it would be the same direction. So that is one of the reasons why you would flip the arrow. I'll just go over because it did come up on this page. The second way is when you are multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So number 3, they're multiplying, so I have to divide. I'm dividing by a negative number. If I'm dividing by a negative number, we switch the inequality sign. This becomes a positive just because there's 2 negatives. It wouldn't always become a positive, just for this one. And then 70 divided by 10 is 7. And then we do it would normally go like that, right? Okay, so it is totally fine that you don't remember this. I want you to always look up when you're starting a new concept. Use your toolkit because it's super important to be able to do that because you're not going to always have me, right? And you have to learn to look up. That's what your textbook is for too. You look it up and go, let me see what's going on here. So the Spectrum doesn't give you the information, but the other book, the Go Math, you could look at it and it shows you how to solve the problem. So always go to the Go Math. In fact, let's get your Go Math book out right now and I will show you how to look up information. So we are looking for inequalities, right? So we're going to go to your textbook, and in the back, we're going to look at the glossary is first. And then on the orange pages right here, we have the index, and you're going to look up inequality and tell me what page I should go to.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
All right, there's a whole bunch of inequality pages. What are we doing? We're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, right? So what page would I turn to? What do you think?
204.
Exactly. Look what page I'm on. 204. Okay, so then you're going to look at it and you're going to go, all right, let's see what's going on here. So I want you to go through and try to figure out how to do it with me now.
Okay.
Does that make sense now?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like, I still kind of forget it.
Yeah, but it should come back to you and you go, oh, okay. So you just solve it like it's a normal equation, but instead of writing an equal sign. And then for the graph, whatever the answer is, open or close circle, and then the arrow's going this way, so your arrow's going to be going this way, and that's it. Those are the steps. Now, here's another example. So we're going to go to page 205, and they're doing subtraction for this one. So I want you to look at it and see if that makes sense to you.
On page 205?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So for your homework, you're going to redo these because I'm not really too sure what you did on them.
Okay.
So just check them all and make sure you did them right. And then remember to solve a fraction. If they're dividing by 5, you're going to multiply by 5. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's an example on page 47. So,
Go math?
yeah, on page 47 for your homework, or the spectrum, you got 5, which is probably, that looks like it's the right answer. But then what was the equation that you used? So I just did the first one for you. 1.75x equals 8.75. So you have to come up with all the equations like that. Has to have an x in it, and if they are telling you to do an r, there has to be an r somewhere in your equation.
Okay.
And so do that with all of them. I mean, it looks like you got the right answer, so that's good. Same thing with like page 46. You said 17,880 divided by 60. That might be true, but they want you to do p. So what would you do? 1780, 880 is the equal. And then divided by 60p. He made 60 payments. So they're multiplying by 60. You divide by 60. Anything you do to one side, you do to the other.
Okay.
Like that. And then yeah, try to do all the equations. And then let's solve. I'll stop the video and let's try to oh, do you have any questions about it first?
No.